If you accept this essential Neville Goddard's understanding, you will manifest your desires in a matter of days. And so, my friend, by the end of this video, I also share with you two techniques that you can try to apply Neville Goddard's teachings. But before I do that, I want to share with you one really crucial understanding that if you don't accept and comprehend, like none of Neville Goddard's exercises will work, because it's like you don't believe that this wall of assumption even works. So that being the case, let's directly begin, and yeah, let's contemplate a little bit about Neville Goddard's teachings. So, like, it's essential to understand what the feeling is the secret means. Like, you cannot experience the manifestation of your desire if you do not imagine what the feeling of attaining that desire would be. So, because think about it, anytime you receive whatever it is in your life, it comes up with an emotional reaction to what you're experiencing. Now, this emotional reaction, if you're able to imagine that reaction, this feeling, before the manifestation, then this makes the manifestation inevitable. So no matter which exercise you try, the purpose of that exercise, the end goal of that exercise, is that you embody the feeling of your wish fulfilled. That it's like your body surrenders to that feeling. And now, of course, like getting yourself in a state akin to sleep, like in a relaxed state of consciousness, where your conscious mind is in more effortless communication with your subconscious mind, which the language of your subconscious mind is feeling, then it will be much easier to communicate a feeling to your subconscious mind. So this is crucial to understand, that the feeling is the secret. This is what it means. Like, for you to manifest whatever it is, you need to become comfortable and you need to make natural the feeling of your desire. So you cannot put it on a pedestal. That's why all these exercises are here to help you, in a way, surrender the resistance to putting your desire on a pedestal. Because if you think that your desire is outside of you and you're constantly looking for its manifestation outside of you, well, what does that mean, my friend? Then this means that you are not focusing your awareness on the feeling of its fulfillment. So it's really crucial that you remember that it's all about inner work. Your desire exists within you, it's not outside. So you cannot be attached to anything on the outside. Like, every time you feel insecure, every time you feel as if you're chasing your desire, in fact, what is happening is that you're manifesting the opposite of what you want. But instead, if you were to perceive that insecurity in the form, in, let's say, something like, oh, I am experiencing this insecurity because it is exactly what I need to let go of and surrender, so that I maintain the feeling of my desire already being fulfilled. Now, this is the practice that you can have in your everyday life, that will help you to normalize your desire, so that it's like in your everyday life, you already feel as if it's yours. And now the other two things that you can try, this is the exercise. It's like, we will look at it from two perspectives. First, we will look at it in your visionary mind. Like, what is the exercise for your visionary mind, if you're a more visionary person? And second, we will look at it in the more auditory form. So if, for example, what influences you is your thoughts. And if you try both of these things, then it's like you will have two channels of communicating that feeling to your subconscious mind. And for some people, like for the more visionary types of people, the visionary type will work. The imagining would work. While for the more auditory type of people, the second exercise, which is more auditory, it's an affirmation. This is what will work. So now I'll share with you a story of like how I use this to manifest a client of mine in just like 3 days once I started this practice and I committed to it. And then I'll explain to you exactly what those exercises are. And then I'll give you an example of how my sister also used it to manifest like 3000 level for a laptop that her boyfriend bought. So anyways, here is what happened. Like, I knew that I wanted my clients for my coaching business to find me by themselves. So I didn't want to chase them. I didn't want to like offer my services to sell hard or do anything like that. And that's why I decided for myself that, like, I designed for myself an imaginary act that would naturally follow the fulfillment of my desire, which is, for me, it was like expressing the gratitude with my specific person, with my significant other, that it's like I just closed the deal for my coaching business with somebody who had found me by themselves. And I did that because I was inspired from like from her success in my specific and significant other's business. And I imagined this feeling of feeling grateful that I can communicate the accomplishment of my desire with my specific person. Now, this is the imaginary act. This is the first exercise. And this is something that you need to do on a consistent basis every single night. For me, I did it just 3 days because I repeated it like 10 times, this single imaginary act that I just communicated with my specific person, how my desire already fulfilled and like how grateful I am because she inspired me for it. Like every night when I got to sleep, I imagined this single scene from the beginning to its ending, which is like 10 seconds. But I imagined it in a state which is relaxed, which is like my body is open. It's like my body feels safe, it feels relaxed. There is no tension inside of it. My awareness feels expanded. So it's like before that, you need to get yourself in a state of presence awareness, which is basically how you get yourself in that state. Well, you start feeling what happens in your body. Because if your awareness is grounded in your body, then it naturally expands. So you go from beta brain waves, which are really stressed, to alpha, and then you naturally start entering theta brain waves, which is where you are able to impress your subconscious mind with much greater efficiency. And so when you're already in this state akin to sleep, which happens by, again, focusing your awareness from your mind to your feelings, and then you naturally find that this space of your awareness expands. And it's like it already encompasses the whole of your room, not just your body. This is what you naturally find happening when you enter in a state akin to sleep. Now, when that happens, is the exact moment when you start triggering this imaginal act in your imagination. And it needs to be something really short. So it's like, yeah, just sending a message to somebody, sharing something, and experiencing the feeling behind that message. It can be something like being congratulated by a friend and shaking their hand. It needs to be something really simple that follows the fulfillment of your desire. So it's not the process of the fulfillment, it's actually what follows. When you have already fulfilled your desire, what is the thing that you will naturally find yourself doing? Well, for me, it was like sharing this accomplishment with my specific person that I'm dating. And so I imagine this single act repeatedly 10 times over and over again until I was able to surrender to the feeling. And now, what it means to surrender to a feeling? Well, it basically means that your body is able to relax in the feeling of your wish fulfilled. So if this is gratefulness, for example, if this is the feeling of accomplishment, then it starts from your heart and from your abdomen. Now there is like this little spark that gets generated. And at first you feel resistance to it. But the more you imagine this single imaginary act over and over and over again, you'll find that this resistance, this single spark of a sensation that you feel, it starts overwhelming your body. So like a wave, it starts running through your body, through the whole of your body. And then you're able to relax even deeper into it. And then your subconscious mind starts accepting the fact that, okay, now this feeling of gratitude and of accomplishment, it has already happened. So it's like, then it's natural for my manifestation to follow. So this is the single exercise. The second exercise is that this is if you're like a more visual person. If you're a more auditory person, then you need to create yourself an affirmation for which you have chosen the words of that affirmation, like you have chosen really specific words. They need to be words that make sense for you. Now I'll give you an example for my case to show you what I mean. For me, it was like, the people who are becoming my clients are finding me by themselves and are showing clear interest that they want to work personally with me. This is what the affirmation sounded like. And it's really specific. It has all the requirements inside of this affirmation. And now you take that affirmation that you create for yourself, write it down on your mirror. This is where we come to mirror work. write it down on your mirror. And every single time you cross that mirror, however many times this is per day, you repeat this affirmation out loud, trying to feel with your tonality, like trying to match your tonality with the confidence of knowing that this is already the case. So initially, when you start working with an affirmation and speaking it out loud, you'll find that it's like your body cringes, it's like you forget the word, you start from the beginning, you stumble upon it, you cannot say it with confidence. But if you commit to repeating it 3 times, every single time you get in front of that mirror, it will come like it will make up to something like a total of 15 times per day. And now with every single time you'll become more and more confident, and eventually you'll say it and you'll feel again this wave of released energy that flows through your body. So if you feel like I'm able to relax because I know that this is already the case. Like whenever you reach the state of your wish already being fulfilled, you feel relaxed. It becomes normal. There is no resistance. There is no friction in your body. Like the feeling of resistance is already surrender. And so it's like you feel relaxed. You feel natural that this desire is already yours. And then you feel happy about it. And then it's a matter of 2 or 3 days for it to come. And yeah, of course, like in my case, for example, somebody directly in the comments of a YouTube video asked me if I offer personal coaching. Then I send them a link to schedule a call. And then eventually through that call, we found that we are a good fit for working together. So it works really fast. And it's like, in a way that is with the least resistance, it will manifest for you. But now what to do, another thing that many people struggle with when they're just applying the law of assumption is what to do when they're thinking the opposite of they're thinking and feeling the opposite state of their desire already being fulfilled, of their wish already being fulfilled. The moment you think or feel the opposite, you have this affirmation which you can just take it and use it. It works for, like, it's a general affirmation that works for everybody. It's like an affirmation that you put over the state of resistance that you are feeling. And now you have to say to yourself mentally something like, oh, the reason that this feeling is coming up is because it's coming up for me to see it and let it go, because when it is surrendered, it will open up space for the feeling of my wish fulfilled to replace it. So the reason I'm feeling this resistance is because it's showing me that it's time to surrender it, to clear space for the feeling of my wish fulfilled, for the feeling of my wish fulfilled. So anytime you catch yourself being in resistance, you repeat to yourself that affirmation until you start letting go of the feeling of resistance. And then it starts being exchanged by this lighter feeling. And here, like, you can check out my last video, or like 2 videos before. I'll put it in the end screen at the end of this video, where I talk about letting go. So you know exactly what letting go is. But again, it's like by repeating this affirmation, you focus your awareness to the sensations in your body, and you know that you are feeling them because they're coming up to be surrendered. And then every night you continue with your imaginary acts. Throughout the day, when you go in front of the mirror and you're just passing by it, you repeat out loud the affirmation that is in alignment with the fulfillment of your desire. And so you're working on your wish on 3 levels. It's like, first, you're working on an imaginary level in your imagination. Second, you're using spoken word. Now, like, the word, it's like, word is spelling. We are spelling out. We are making spells with what we speak. So when you speak out what you want to experience in the present tense, and you try to embody the feeling of that, of what you speak, of this affirmation, you want to relax into the feeling of that affirmation. It's the same as imagining it in your mind. It's like your conscious mind starts speaking to the subconscious. And so you're working on it on a 2nd level with affirmation. And then on a 3rd level, every time you feel the opposite of the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you are counteracting it with this affirmation that, oh, okay, I see. This resistance is coming up because it's coming up for me to let it go so that it clears space for the feeling of my wish fulfilled. And now if you combine those 3 things, it's a matter of just a couple of days. I It's like it's inevitable, because then you're using spoken word, you're using your imagination, and you're also using letting go. So by combining those three tools, it will work really fast. It's like, it's scary how fast it works. And I would love it when you come back then after trying this out, and like comment down below what was your experience, because I know how this works. But ultimately, my friend, now here is something to remember. It is to our own consciousness that we must turn as to the only reality, the only foundation on which our phenomena can be explained. So anytime you feel resistance, this affirmation, can you see how it's in alignment with what I just read, which is what Neville shared in his books? So we can rely absolutely on the justice of this world to give us only that which is in the nature of ourselves. You need to change that nature of yourself, which happens through letting go of any contradictory feelings and embodying the feelings of your wish fulfilled. The idea with which we are united works by association of ideas to awaken 1,000 moods to create a drama in keeping with the central idea. Now, what this means is that when your body starts to surrender to the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you'll find that your mind goes in all the directions to assume all the thoughts which are correlated to this central idea, which is the feeling of your wish fulfilled. So, or the like this affirmation. So anytime you're saying this affirmation, or anytime you're like repeating in your imagination this imaginal act, you'll find that your conscious mind through your everyday life starts coming up with these creative ideas of what it would think when the fulfillment of your desire is already the case. So these are again the effects that you experience, and you'll know that this is working when your mind comes up with ideas that are in alignment with the fulfillment of your wish. So they're like, it's almost as if you're taking ideas from the future and you're making them present, but this will happen naturally. This is the idea with which we are united works by an association of ideas. So the idea with which you are united, when you're assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled, works by association of ideas to awaken 1,000 moods to create a drama. So your mind will come up with all these thoughts that will interconnect with one another to create the feeling of your wish fulfilled. And when this feeling becomes natural, then it's the matter of a couple of days. And now I also wanted to share with you this story of like how my sister just shared with me that she applied something like this, even if she didn't study the Law of Assumption or Neville Goddard. She was in a situation in which her boyfriend bought her this laptop because she needed it for her work, and she wanted to pay him back. And she was like, oh, but I don't have this money now. And she just decided, but anyways, he made me this gift, so I just have the money. She made that decision. And it was like, she turned to her own consciousness to make that decision. And then anytime she felt doubtful, she was like, no, I already made that decision. I have the money. And then in like 2 weeks, anytime she felt doubtful, she just instantly surrendered the resistance. And she told to herself, it's already mine. I made that decision. And so in 2 weeks, like a job opportunity appeared to her, which like in a matter of, because when she was just deciding that she would have this money, she said, I'll have the money by the end of, I think, May. And because she needed them by this stage. And so like a job opportunity appeared to her that she was going to be paid just enough money to work there like part-time until May, so that he can pay off the money to her boyfriend, which it's actually, it isn't like, if she were to ask me, like he could have just made this as a gift towards her. But anyway, if she wants it, like she manifested it for herself by just letting go of all the resistance that was coming up to her making that decision, that she already had that money and it was the universe that was going to provide it. So yeah, my friend, this is how it works. Like, I know it can be a little strange at first, and it can sound a little woo how this woo applies, but it's a whoa, my friend. It's a whoa, and all of us surrender to that whoa. So it's like your feelings are the secret. Do whatever needs to get done to assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled and to maintain it, because this is the secret. Hope you found this video to be useful. If this is the case, like it, subscribe below if you are new to the channel Soulful Relationships. Comment down below to let me know what is your experience with the Law of Assumption. and try these three things out. I promise you, like, if you try those three things out the way I share them, the imaginary acts, the affirmation, and letting go of the resistance, then you'll come back to this video like a week later and you'll tell me that it worked, because it's a wall. Like, you cannot fight with a wall. So this was everything I wanted to share. Hope you found the video to be useful. Like it, comment down below, subscribe, and I would love to see you around in the future video. Thank you so much again. I love you, my friend. See you around.